Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another Market Open stream. So, today we got more to talk about. Several key things that can make Bitcoin make moves. Huge moves. Not just upwards moves. Maybe even downward moves. And they are huge. So, let's talk about everything that's happening today and possibly later this week. All right. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're starting out the day. The U.S. market is open today. Yesterday, U.S. market was closed. Today's open. We're starting out a little bit higher than last night. 96.5, which is good. Again, yesterday, it got scary for no apparent reason. Bitcoin kept falling down to the 95,000s. It did so twice. And now we're back up to 96. But again, there was really no reason. Alts got a little bit weaker, including Solana. And I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. But overall, people are still waiting to see what's going to happen. There are a few things happening this week, but there are also some big things happening. The U.S. market, let's see, today is opening up mixed. Dow's down, NASDAQ is up, kind of mixed. But this is very good news. U.S. and Russia, and first high-level talk since 2022. Man, this war has been ongoing for years now. It seems like it hasn't been that long, but it has been. But whenever war, whenever it concludes, it's always a good thing, right? So hopefully this is in the works. This has been ongoing for way too long, right? If this comes to an end, of course, that's a very, very, very positive thing. So we'll see. We haven't heard of a high-level negotiation being conducted, I don't know, in years. So this is very promising. So that's number one. Number two, we are still seeing around the world, we're seeing more cuts. Australia's central bank cuts its rate for the first time in more than 4 years due to economic uncertainties. Okay, so this is part of the liquidity injection that's happening around the world. So several, obviously, countries have started, including the U.S. We're kind of in that zone right now where we should get more injections, but this nagging thing called inflation is holding us back. We should have more rate cuts later this year. But right now, people are waiting to hear more about inflation and all the tariff stuff. So that's like what's holding us back right now. But the good thing is other countries around the world are doing so because of economic uncertainties, okay? And whenever liquidity gets injected into markets, traditionally speaking, that's very good. Very good for assets and investments. That's when things start going up. So that is good. But like I've been saying, in the U.S., we're kind of in that weird zone right now because inflation is ticking upwards and people are afraid of all these tariffs and what they are going to do to price of goods. That's the reason why the U.S. market isn't doing all that well, why crypto has stalled, and why we're kind of in this zone right now, okay? But we will get past it. We always will. And we know that Bitcoin is the only way for one to truly opt out. Okay, but besides these things, I didn't bring up my economic calendar. Let me bring that up right now. There are a few other things to look forward to this week. Tomorrow we do have a big FOMC minutes. This recaps what happened last meeting behind closed doors. So usually beforehand, a little volatility, but there's also other things like housing permits. So that usually, has a little effect on markets. And then on Thursday, we have jobless claims. That's always big. And then you have several, key speakers, Fed speakers. And then you got existing home sales on Friday. So these are all economic data events that will be coming in the U.S. that can definitely sway markets, depending on how good or bad or just in line. If they're in line, they're nothing burgers. But if they come in really bad or really, strong, then they will move markets, right? But again, how you opt out is really to just ignore the FUD and hodl Bitcoin. That's really it. Yesterday I covered the 21 rules of Saylor. It's actually 21 rules for Bitcoin, but Saylor created it. But number one is, if you truly understand, you truly understand. But if you don't, you're going to let the FUD creep into you. But if you truly understand, then you got nothing to fear. All right, other good things. And one not so good thing that's a little bit scary, and I will get to that in a little bit. Robinhood is expanding. Robinhood is just killing it, absolutely killing it. Their stock is killing it, and their growth is insane. They plan on rolling out crypto services in Singapore through Bitstamp acquisition. I didn't know that. They bought Bitstamp. Wow, that's a big acquisition. I didn't know that, but that's big. So, okay, well, more people that get in crypto, the better. So that's pretty good. Here's something else that's very big that's starting today. $16 billion from FTX is set to be distributed starting today. $16 billion in stables will be distributed starting today. Doesn't mean all $16 billion is going to be distributed today, but it will start today. I mean, it does kind of suck because these are according to 2022 prices. So if you had one Bitcoin, you will only get 18,000. You're not going to get 96,000. If you had one Solana, you're going to get $15. So it does suck, but it puts things into perspective. People that are saying it's a bear market, it's crypto winter. I don't think you've been through crypto winter unless you lived through a 18K Bitcoin or a $15 Sol. Yesterday, someone was calling that. Well, live through that first, or live through Bitcoin falling to 4,000 and live through Ethereum hitting $80. Then you'll understand what a bear market is. But nevertheless, there will be $16 billion worth of stables that will be distributed. So most people that get this, I'm assuming, is going to buy more crypto, right? I don't think most people that are getting their stables are going to just cash out. I mean, there's a possibility, but I do think a lot of people will be buying more crypto with it. So that is a big cash injection. Very, very, very big. ETFs, of course, have been a big cash injection for Bitcoin, at least. For Ethereum, not so much. And MicroStrategy is a big cash injection to Bitcoin. And this is interesting. You have the California State Teachers Retirement System that reported they have $83 million of MicroStrategy holdings. And the states themselves have close to $400 million. And then you have all these other like state-related agencies that have more. So again, if you understand, you understand. If you can't buy Bitcoin, okay, holding MicroStrategy shares could be even better. It has outperformed Bitcoin, to be honest. Just not recently, but over the last few years it has. So, next best thing, I guess. Something else that people don't think about with Bitcoin is this. California obviously recently has had its troubles with the fires, with the blackouts, lack of water, all these things, right? But Texas, has gotten a lot better with its grid due to Bitcoin mining. Look at this headline. Bitcoin mining helps save Texans $18 billion. It's because with all the revenue from the Bitcoin mining, right, the infrastructure has been upgraded and it has made everything better, right? So that's why there are certain states that love Bitcoin miners. They give a lot of incentives, tax breaks for mining companies to come in because the states know they're going to collect a whole bunch of revenue from these miners and they could use that to improve the grid tremendously. And then overall, that helps everyone, right? So states like California could learn a thing or two. And not just California, every state. And if Trump makes it just the entire country becomes very, very pro mining, that would be even better. Even better. All right. So now to a couple scenarios here. From a TA perspective, so, Bitcoin's kind of in this bullish pennant right now, right? So the next step of a bullish pennant usually is to the upside. So we get like a big pump to the next leg up, and I've covered this many, many, many times. But yesterday, I covered one chart that showed a scenario where Bitcoin went downwards to the 70s. And yesterday, last night, I'm like, I don't quite get why anyone think we are going down to the 70s before we start going upwards. Now I found another chart that supports it. And the reason being is that stupid CME gap. We always had these CME gaps that somehow, one way or another, we fill. I don't think all of them have been filled, but quite often we just fill them. So I guess that is a reason why out of this pennant, there is a chance that we don't break upwards right away, that we could actually break downwards before we break upwards again. And if that's the case, if there is a gap that we need to fill, it's in the low 80s, high 70s. Just to present a scenario to you guys. For me, I still think this is a very, very low chance, okay, of happening. But you know what? I'll present it just so you guys could see both sides of the picture. If this happens, this is a big, 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 huge buying opportunity, right? But you got to make sure you got to have dry powder or cash on the side to take advantage. That's why I've been saying, no matter what, wherever Bitcoin is, you got to have that 20, 25, 30% cash. And if this scenario did happen, man, that will come very, very handy, right? But if it didn't, okay. As long as you know, just hodl. But again, what are the chances of that? I think the bullish pennant will show us going higher, but you know what? We'll see. We'll see. All right, last thing is this. Obviously, this whole thing has become has gone out of hand. This Argentina's president, Javier Milei, who tweeted out his meme coin, and he tweeted out, retweeted it. It pumped up to the moon. It came back down. But if that was the end of it, okay. But it wasn't. Insider wallets took out $100 million. Okay, so it's not like the Trump coin. Trump coin, yes, Trump tweeted it, but as of right now, you don't have any insider wallets selling off like $100 million, right? At least that hasn't happened yet, or no one detected it. In this case, it happened immediately. It was very, very detectable. So obviously people did not like it. They're calling for impeachment and they want to sue him and all this stuff. So that's still ongoing. It brought a lot of FUD to Solana, also to Jupiter and Meteora and all this stuff. So Meteora is co-founded by Jupiter, and Meteora's co-founder resigned now because he was referring this meme coin, Libra, and other meme coins to this guy, Hayden Davis, that's been sniping a whole bunch of them and making huge profits and dumping on the market. So, you got this whole weird thing going on between Hayden and this Ben Chow and Jupiter and Solana and Argentina, and all this is all like coming together. This is why everything's looking so weak for Solana right now. But yeah, it's unfortunate how this president kind of just like screwed everything. But speaking of Trump coin, 1 month anniversary, and there's the airdrop for supporters. It has not done well. It's down 78% from its peak. However, the creators are saying that if you buy Trump merchandise before March 1st, you are eligible for an airdrop. I don't know how much, but you are eligible. I don't know if that's going to entice anyone to buy more merchandise. Maybe people have bought merchandise already, but yeah, just to show there, just to let you guys know. All right, U.S. market, not NASDAQ is starting to go down, starting to bleed. That's not good. Robinhood down, Strategy down, Strike down. GameStop is up. Still waiting for GameStop to embrace Bitcoin. That's the latest company that could be going all in, so that's good. Coinbase is down. And then Bitcoin, unfortunately, went down from its open of 96.7. All right, let's do some Q&A. Let's see here. Let me scroll up. Variable says tariffs are all about negotiation. People are freaking out over nothing. It's all business. Well, yeah, but like the steel and aluminum, it's already in place. It's not a negotiation. Man, we start out so good at 96.6, and then we just dropped down 1,000 points. Man, that sucks. Wall Street is not looking good right now. Let's see. George, tell me something good about Hedera DenverCon. Hedera is having their own conference during ETH Denver. I don't know what they're going to say. Maybe they're going to announce something good. Why all of a sudden the sell pressure? Yeah, Wall Street's turning that. I mean, NASDAQ was plus 100. Now it's in the red. So obviously Wall Street is like, we're going to sell, which is not good. And it's just, it just sucks that Wall Street, obviously I've been saying this for a while. You got to take the bad with the good. It sucks that Wall Street now just, sells off Bitcoin whenever they get fearful. Whenever they sell off tech, they sell off Bitcoin. And they just treat Bitcoin almost as a tech stock. And, that's just not, that's not the case, right? They don't truly understand. They just trade it like any trader is trading a stock. That's the unfortunate thing. But again, if you understand it, then it doesn't matter what they do, right? It just gives you more time to accumulate. That's all. Claire, thank you. Someone says 20K. Who's saying 20K? That is not going to happen. Let's see. What are your thoughts on VeChain and VeThor? I'm still a supporter of VeChain. I just, I hope they bring out and entice more dApps that's consumer based besides just focusing on Butter. That's really it. They're going all out with Butter, and I'm hoping they do more than that. Game Shark, don't at me, please. Everyone, don't at me. Campaign rewards, I don't know when they go out. They usually go out pretty quick. I think right when the campaign is over. I'll find out. How come you never focus on Bitcoin miners? I did. In fact, today. $16 billion coming back. I think this could be big. I don't know. Unless everyone gets their like FTX money and says, "Oh, I'm just gonna cash it out." But I think slowly over time, as more and more people get their money back, I think they're gonna be buying. 16 billion. You got a 16 billion injection. Let's go make a dent. That's going to be a good amount. Kat, you're welcome. Your Cybertruck starting up today in the cold. It doesn't need a crank. It always starts up. It just takes a lot to heat it up. Takes up a lot of range in the cold. But I love driving that thing. I love driving it. People love to hate on it, but it drives really nice. Arian, if you watch today's stream fully, you'll know that I actually presented a scenario where Bitcoin goes down. So it shows you that I don't only talk about going upwards. So maybe watch the entire stream before you make comments. Variable, thank you. People need to stop buying stupid A memes. Yeah. There's always degens that buy, and there will always be degens that buy, but at least there's something, okay? Think about this. If retail wasn't buying anything, they weren't buying memes, and they're not buying L1s or anything. There's no alts at all. Every alt would be dead, basically. And, there's no possibility of recovery for any alts. There will be no altcoin season. And then institutions would just keep on buying Bitcoin. I don't know. That would be the other scenario. I don't know. Right now, it just seems like at least people buy alts. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a different market right now. Different market. Diddy bot. Hey George, I got my stablecoin for FTX. I had 2 Ethereum, but sold as soon as I heard they had no money to pay. Unfortunately, sold at $13.33. So you got $1,333 back? Well, at least that's something. Or did you get $2,666 back? That's good. That's very good. That's not very good, but it's something. It's better than nothing, right? At least you got something back. What's your guess for a next leg up? My guess is late March. We break all-time high. I think the U.S. market needs more stability. I think Wall Street, unfortunately, is just too worried about, inflation and all that stuff. And, Wall Street just like not letting things run right now. They're just like, they keep trading. They're not buying. And that's why we're at the standstill. So I don't think that the next leg up is going to come until that happens. And I don't know when that's going to be. It could be sooner than expected. It could be just one big catalyst that changes everyone's mind and we blow up, right? I don't know how Wall Street thinks sometimes. Sometimes they're like very reactionary. Like one thing comes out and it makes them dump or pump immediately. They sometimes they're just so reactionary. So I don't know sometimes. It's like this morning, NASDAQ started out plus 130 or something, and now it's -6. Like, what made them all of a sudden decide, okay, let's sell off all of our tech today, this morning? I have really no idea. Like, what made them, maybe because they're trying to prepare for the Fed minutes tomorrow. I have no idea. AK says it's called manipulation. Yeah, I guess. That's why some of the most famous traders in Wall Street will say, "I can't tell you what the price will be today or tomorrow or next week." They just buy low and sell high. That's it. Because this is how Wall Street is. Like, you just can't predict what it's going to do 1 minute from another. Devaradi Roy, do you feel this cycle is any different? Yes. A super cycle, a quick wick up for 46 week. I think it's going to be a stretch super cycle. I think it's going to be different in a couple ways. Altcoin season will be different now. And Bitcoin is probably going to be in a forever super cycle. So it's going to be different in a couple ways. I think not all altcoins will go back to the previous highs. Only the good ones will. And for Bitcoin, I don't see it going down 80% in the next crypto winter. I think there will just be corrections along the way, and then we recover and keep going due to the institutions and they, they're buying. Ooh, Strike is up today. Man, Strike is up to 94. Strike keeps going up. And strategy keeps going. I mean, strategy is not keep going down, but strategy doesn't seem to be moving. Strike is going to be above 100 soon. It seems like everyone's putting their money into Strike. Do you have any more information on Persian Strike? You could go buy it on Charles Schwab, Claire. You just can't do it on Robinhood. That's it. Darian says, just literally bought Strike seconds ago, and yes, it's because it pays out. Yeah, everyone wants that 8% dividend. Khalil, why is cock pumping recently? Is it? I don't think any meme is pumping. There's this like weird AVAX cabal thing that's going on right now where like, a lot of AVAX things are going up. Yeah, I wouldn't say 85 million is pumping. It's going up a little bit. That's good, but I wouldn't say that's pumping. Rock Lobster, I'm still going to release a meme coin. Just because you release a meme coin doesn't make you a scammer, man. It just probably won't be anytime soon. The timing has to be like perfect. Has to be when the bull market is at its peak. Ivan, George is sold dead. No. Please don't ask questions like that. You already know the answer. I'm trying not to be harsh with my responses because I'm trying to be a different person. So I'm just going to say it as politely as I can. No. Stacy says, was going to buy some MicroStrategy. What are your thoughts? Right now, strike is the name of the game. I don't, look at this, 52-week high. I don't see any compelling reason to buy strategy over strike. No matter what they explain. If you use Grok, you use any AI, and you ask it to tell you the difference between strike and strategy and why you should buy one over the other, it will explain to you that the theory behind it is, well, strike should be less volatile because it gives you fixed income, and strategy will be more volatile because it's based on the performance of Bitcoin. That's in theory. That's just not how it really works. Strike is giving better performance right now, and it's giving you that fixed income. So it's actually making me worried about strategy stock, MicroStrategy stock, or strategy stock. It is actually making me worried that it's going to stall this stock movement, and everyone's just going to go buy strike. Jim Bean. It is. It's a quick read, but a lot of examples, a little bit too many examples, but I get the overall core concepts. I got to read more into it. Debo Deep. Hey, George, will ETH pump bring altcoin season? Do you see a big ETH pump later this year? The answer is no. And the second answer is no. ETH pump will not bring altcoin season. And no, I don't see a big ETH pump. Will ETH rise? Yes. Can I get back to the previous highs? Yes. Do I see a big pump after it hits all-time high? No. Strike only allows you to convert to 0.1 share of strategy. Yeah, but why does it matter? Who says you need to convert? You don't need to convert. You could sell strike. You could sell strike and make money that way. You don't have to convert it. It's called delusion. Dilution. He wants cash to buy Bitcoin, leverage. I mean, that's obvious. The Bitcoin that he holds doesn't have a direct correlation unless Wall Street thinks it does. Wall Street will only buy it if they think that Bitcoin that he holds is worth something. And that's why they keep buying his stock. But it doesn't have any kind of direct correlation at all. Case in point, he has bought double amount of Bitcoin in the last quarter, yet MicroStrategy stock has tanked in that same quarter. You know, so again, it just depends on if Wall Street thinks that Bitcoin that he holds has value. Guy, can we still expect 500 Sol? Yes. Mohammed, do you think Bonk will recover when the market reverses to its all-time high? Yeah, it's not that far off. Yes, I think so. I don't think Bonk is going to go anywhere. Are you lowering your expectation for bull market? No. Comments right now are really a close bottom signal. I say so. This is the reason why I want to retire after this year. If I'm wrong about the super cycle, we have a crypto winter and we fall back down 80% and alts go down 99%. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough patience to handle the comments then. So this is why I'm going to retire after this year. If the bearish people now think that 95 Bitcoin is bad and I don't know, whatever, 168 Solana is bad or 258 XRP is bad. Obviously, they didn't live through when they were in, when they had one less figure or two less figures in their price. But whatever it is, the next cycle, I'm not gonna be around for that. Ken, I have been answering. I don't know what you're referring to. But I do think we are going to be in a super cycle. There's just no reason to think otherwise. Bitcoin is not led by retail. Unless all the institutions that bought every Bitcoin, every ETF, everything that they have been accumulating, they all decide, okay, let's just all dump in December or November, every single one of them. We're not going to see the same 80% fall like in previous cycles. We may see like 30, 40%, maybe even 50%, but I think we will recover pretty quickly and then move on. I don't think it's going to be like previous cycles. We will always have corrections and consolidations, but I just don't see a prolonged 2.5-year crypto winter where we keep falling 80% for Bitcoin. I just have a hard time seeing that now. Derek says tariffs equals sell equals wake up people. I don't know if it's that dire. AI, George, maybe by then, by the end of this year, AI will be so good, I couldn't have AI just replace me. JVC. This week is off SBF vibes with XRP distribution on top of Solana corruption. Not a coincidence. Both are making the news. No. They have nothing to do with SBF vibes. Completely separate. XRP distribution? You mean the unlock, quarterly unlock, which happens every quarter, and they sell it off to financial industries? That's like according to schedule. They always do that. Solana corruption, that's not Solana Foundation corruption. That's just bad actors. That's Argentina's president doing bad things. That's not Solana Foundation doing bad things. That's nowhere the same. I mean, if you wanted to make an example, maybe CZ, you know, manipulating BNB with his, you know, meme coin, that would be closer, but even that is not the same. All right, guys. This chat is getting super depressing, so I'm going to take off. Well, we started out good. Now we're getting a little worse. But, you know, huge moves can go both ways. That's why I cover both today, in case people always claim that I only cover upwards movement, but not downwards movement. There's always a chance, right? But if you read the room, there are still so many great things happening. Short-term distractions should not sway you away from the long-term goals, right? Which is building life-changing wealth and financial freedom through Bitcoin and crypto. And I truly believe that will happen for many of you guys if you stay the course, if you truly believe. If you don't, then you don't. You will fall for FUD. All right, I will see you guys tonight. Usual time, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one, Fat Colonel, because that's how awesome I am. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.